Alright, good morning. Today I'm going to go over your dailies that you should be doing. I'm going to show you what I do, give some tips and tricks along the way, and we're going to just cover everything that you should be working on a daily basis. Never let everything stack up. I let everything stack up so I could do this video, but keep things clear as soon as you can. Alright, first thing you want to do when reset happens, if you already have the game open, go ahead and reload your game, refresh it if you're running it from a browser, because some of the stuff isn't going to take effect until you reload the game, so you want to make sure your game's reloaded first up. Once you get in, the first thing you're going to do is go to your rewards quests, and before you start doing all your other daily things, you want to go through here and you want to refresh some of these. You definitely use your free refreshes. I would suggest using paid refreshes if you need to too. The level of quests that you can get in here are going to be determined by your level. If you have not maxed your military rank out, max your military rank out as soon as possible. It will help you long term the quicker you get there. Once you are maxed out, you can get purple, legendary, and mythic ones, the red ones here, and they will give you the 5x and 10x rewards respectively. If you do roll any purples, I would suggest re-rolling these until they are no longer purple. And once you get past the free 5 refreshes, you can use 5 gems. Unless you're gem hungry, then it's still worth doing them. And I go through and I get all of them to gold and red every day. Now there is some that are harder to do, especially if you have your base maxed out, like building 16 shipyards is quite a pain for me. I have to delete boats, make room, build the shipyards, delete those. It's a whole big pain. So up to you. I usually refresh those and got lucky and got a much easier one. So now that you have all of these set up, you can go ahead and start doing all your other stuff. As you'll see, raider missions, training, killing dark forces. So all of this is going to happen naturally throughout the day usually. But the very first thing you want to do is make sure that those are all set up. Once you've done that, I come through and I collect my gold, collect my expedition, so those can keep stacking up. You do get a free rush in here. Definitely do your free rush. Collect that, and then you can get up to 5 more rushes a day for increasing amounts of gems. I always do the 50 gem one. I think it's definitely worth. After that, it's up to you. We'll cover what you can buy in the stores and why you might want to do more later on, but I do the 50 gem one a day. Very worth. For your gold mines, you can do the free quick collect a day, and you do that. You do want to make sure that when you do this that you have your super miner equipped if you have it. All of the gold skills on your heroes, and that will affect your gold production and get you more of this for free. I don't have the super miner on right now, otherwise this would be a bit higher for me. But make sure that you have that on. You can additionally collect up to 10 more times. I wouldn't do this. It's not worth the gems unless you're dying for gold, and 1 or 2 spins is going to get you to some next big project that you're working on. For these, you do want to make sure you have 10 gold mines out. If you have anything less than 10 at max level, you're wasting it. So make sure that says 10 of 10. Alright, next up you have your equipment. Always keep this producing materials, keep it maxed out, check on it once in a while, make sure you have all of those running. Never let this be running empty. If you don't know what materials you should be building for your blueprints, just build anything. Anything is better than nothing, and eventually we'll use everything. So keep that running 100% of the time, and we'll make another video going over blueprints at some point, cover that a little more in depth. But keep that going. Next you have your dimensional mines, collect any you have left over from yesterday, and as I said in my video the other day, if you're level 80, you should be getting into these Odinium mines. And If you're not level 80, the level 5 tech mines, level 4 tech mines are not a bad place to be. You can get some additional things, like you can get gems and books from these, so if you can't find Odinium, get into one of these. It's better than nothing. You can get some other stuff that'll help you out rather than just the tech boxes. I go ahead and I use all my free detects, and I look for the Odinium mines. And I get into as many of these as I can. Alright, once you have used up your free detects, it's up to you. You can go ahead and detect for gems. Sometimes I'll do this if I've been really unlucky, but usually I'll wait at this point. I've already got 4 out of my 5. I'll wait and see what happens, because sometimes you can come back in here and this page will actually be refreshed on its own after people clear these out, and you could get lucky and get additional mines. I usually wait towards the end of the day before I do extra detects, if I'm not lucky in the morning, because it will change throughout the day. So your dimensional mines. Alright, next up, make sure that you have something training in your skill tree and your suppression tree if you can. It's good to have things training. You can always work on lower level things for your off units if you have a bunch of extra resources. It doesn't hurt to get those up as well. Just make sure you keep yourself resource rich, so that when you are able to, you can increase your main unit ones and keep working on your research tree. We'll make another video about research and do that separately, but just try to keep those moving along. Next up, we have our crafting center. For this one, you want to make sure that you're using these when you can. You will get some of those gems from your expedition, and you can also get some from your alliance. Recruiting, you'll get 5 of these for your day, so when this little red dot pops up, just make sure you get your 5 a day. After you get your free recruit, you have to wait 5 minutes. Same for the standard recruit and the research. 5 minutes for both. So in 5 minutes you can come claim the next one. It takes 25 minutes to get all 5. Other thing you should be doing, VIP. If you're VIP 1 or above, you should be coming in and collecting this VIP box once a day. Good free stuff. If you do have VIP turned off and this little banner isn't here for you to click on and collect, it can be quite a bit harder to get to it. So if you do have your VIP level turned off, just make sure that you're going in there once a day and collecting that. Alright, next up we have our Alliance Tech. I always wait to do this until after I've set my missions. Make sure that if I reroll to any that require Alliance Tech donations, we get those done. We're going to go donate to our ruin. Donating is really good. You want those free alliance points, and just make sure you're donating to whatever it is that your alliance is working on currently. But keep those from getting to 10, and you will see you have points daily earned that you max out. You can fit 3,000. I usually get around 2,000 plus. If you're really on top of it, you can get the 3,000 a day, and you should try to when at all possible. But that's it for the Alliance Tech, and then I'll keep an eye on that. I'll come back. Alliance Help, you can answer help requests for up to 1,000 free points a day, so make sure you're giving those for free to your Alliance members. Then you can ask for help. Now something I've gotten into the habit of doing is I ask for gold once a day, and then as soon as I put it out there, I cancel the request, because you'll see one of the mission rewards is request gold. And what I've done a couple times is I have actually done all 10 of my requests a day, and then gone back and realized I had a request gold one that I didn't do, and I didn't get credit for it. And it sucks because it's an easy one to do. So you'll see here, requesting and canceling the gold did actually count. Actually, you know what? I didn't have the right one. I had the Gold Harvester Quick Collect. I thought I had the request gold. There is one that's request gold, and if you request gold and cancel it, it will count for that. So make sure you go ahead and request gold at least once and then cancel it. After that, the only thing that you should be doing at level 80 is requesting these gems, just even them out. So I'm going to request the obsidian, because that's my lowest one, and then I'll keep doing that throughout the day, just requesting them, collecting them, and evening out my gems to create more component boxes with. Collect your alliance gifts. Make sure you donate your free droid shard once a day. You can donate more after that. Make sure you're following the rules for your alliance on how many you can donate. For some of the lower level ones, for the higher level ones, I try to stay in the top 10 if at all possible. But these shards are kind of hard to come by, and it's definitely worth only using them to make sure that you get the best rewards you can for the cheapest amount that you can. Alright, the Alliance store here, this refreshes once a day, with the transfer application refreshing every 15 days. And really, the only thing that's worth buying out of here once you're level 80 is the Alliance moves and the regular moves. I buy out my transfer application once every 15 days and plan my spending of the Alliance tokens accordingly. You don't have to buy that, especially if you don't plan on transferring. And then after that, you can just use them to buy really whatever you want. The moves are the best thing in here for the cost, in my opinion. For your battles, go in here first thing every day and try to get your 10 refugee camps, try to get your 50 warhammers, your terrors. Now you can turn this on. I try to keep this on at all times just to get some free joins in. Select your warhammer, refugee, and terror if you're able to do it. If you want to make sure that you get the highest level terrors and join specific ones, then you can go ahead and do that. Some days I'll turn this on if I'm feeling lazy, and sometimes I'll make sure I join people that run level 4s and 5s. Up to you. I would suggest either do 1 unit or 1 unit, exclude Valhalla troops. If you have Valhalla troops, this is a great one, because if you automatically send out a Valhalla unit and it gets destroyed, that's a little costly for a stupid mistake, so always click that one if you have Valhallas, in my opinion. And I'll open that up, and that'll get me into some free rallies during the day. Make sure you continue helping your alliance. The other thing to do is make sure you collect your ruins. So go to this page, Alliance Tech Ruins. You can see your alliance's ruins, and some of them will say members can claim. There's also some other ones. The ones we have right now are units and items. And click on that, select your unit for units, and same thing for the items. So I'm going to go to the item room, claim my free items. Maybe we'll do a video on the ranking order of what you should select from these. If you see a class item chest, though, I always take these. It's definitely the best thing in there. Alright, next up we have our radar missions. You can go ahead and do your rescue missions, just get those sending out. They don't count as a march. And your Dark Legion treasures, these take a certain amount of time to complete depending on what star level they are. Your Dark Legion forts, you can rally these or attack them. If there's an event going on where you can get items out of these, it's best to rally them. For the purpose of this video, I am going to just get this sent out. Try to always make sure your Diana is in the march when you're doing these. Save 2-vit on everything. It adds up. But I just go through and I do all of these. There is something to be said for the red missions in here not being worth doing. If they're level 1 or 2, some people don't do those and let them fall off. I just do them anyways. I think it's worth it for me, even just for the speed ups that accumulate over time. But keep that in mind if you don't want to do the level 1s or 2s, or you're trying to save your VIT for something else. It might be worth it to go ahead and skip those. Just keep doing this. Get through all of your radar missions. ahead and move on from there, but go through, do all your radar missions, and you'll see I already had some gatherers come back on their own, which fulfilled those 2 missions for me. You might get this one right here, defeat the Empire Royal Guards. You have to click collect and then go to spawn this. It's free to attack, just send any march after it, pretty easy to beat. The max level 1 is level 70. And once you beat that, you can collect that for free. Also make sure that you collect your alliance rewards. Some of those will go away after a few days. I just hit collect all. Go back to alliance help and continue to request the gems. And that's pretty much it for what you need to do for your basic things. Collect your daily supplies, collect your daily pass. If you don't know, this is the best way to get gems, $4.99 for a week. You get 5,000 gems in total. It is hands down the best way to get gems if you're a light spender. I keep this up at all times. So collect those every day if that's something that you do. Make sure that you do your events. A lot of these events will have really good rewards that you can get. So definitely look at the event rules, reach out to other people whenever there's an event going on and ask. We have an events tab in our Discord that will give you kind of a heads up of what the best things to do are for these events, but make sure you take full advantage of those. Arms race, this is an ongoing thing. Every day it's something different. Today it's collect resources. I would say try to plan your days around doing this. Try to get up into the top 50 at minimum. If you want to try to get higher than that, start planning earlier. But definitely worth doing. Don't ever turn down free stuff, basically. Alright, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll clear everything out except for the blue missions, and then once all I have left is blue missions, then I'll send out a 5x Dark Forces and get all those done at the same time, so I don't have to send out multiple times if I get multiple missions over time. We're really just going to keep going through here. Again, 5 minutes, you can get your recruits. Make sure you get to your 5. Make sure if you have a Holotech unlocked that you're doing your 10 terrors a day. If you're not level 80 yet, make sure that you're never letting your Empire relics get to 5. Keep running those. Very important for getting your R&D chips. The other important things is once you get some of your dailies out of the way, make sure you're sending out excess marches for resources. You don't want to have a bunch of marches sitting in your base if you could be getting resources, so keep an eye out for that. Level 6 resources are great. The other thing that you can do is go to the Alliance log here and then Alliance buildings, and you can see when the most recently built building was. Level 5s and 6s are the best. So you can see here, got a level 6 barn that was built semi-recently. It's got 9 hours on it left. You could get a march in there. And last but not least, you got your to-do list. We got Into the Unknown up here now. And again, I let these stack up, but never let them get to 12 hours on your gold expedition or Into the Unknown. Claim those, and then you'll get those free 2 tickets a day. They made it super easy now, where we can just do 1 mission and it's a boss, and we just come in here and we crush it and we get our free stuff. So do those, get all your free rewards from that. You get 2 a day. I didn't pay attention to which 2 I got. If you want to, you can also let them stack up and just do a bunch of them all at the same time. Up to you. It doesn't matter in the long term, as long as you collect them once a day. Next up, your Warhammers. Try to join as many Warhammers as you can. You can get free 50 participant rewards a day. Doesn't matter so much once you're past level 80, but you can get purple and gold march speed ups for free from doing these. So in SVS and just daily stuff, a lot of these can be really useful. So take advantage of that. It's free. Your sand table exercise. For this, you don't really need to get all stacked up and try to hit your best every day. Doesn't matter too much. The difference in damage for hitting the next reward is very high. Even if you buff up and change your heroes and do everything, you're probably not going to have much of a difference. So just run your best march, run all 5 of them, make sure you do your 5 once a day. You do get a lot of good free stuff from this. Once you're level 80, the white material choice boxes, you get 15 of those a day, and those are definitely worth getting. That's basically a free blue a day. Not a blue blueprint, a blue material. And then your Warzone exercises, you know, even if you aren't beating people, do your 5 attacks a day. You get free rewards from doing it, and it will help you get your formation papers up quicker. Do your 5 attacks. Even if you do them on people you know you're going to lose. If you're trying to actually play it, then of course, you know, look for your right opponents, test things out on people, but use your 5 a day. Dimensional Mines, we already talked about that. Hunting Guild, this is an important one. I feel like a lot of people forget. I usually look at this one of the first things in the day, and I see what my first mission is, and I try to plan my activities, whether it be spending Vit, gathering resources, or defeating dark forces around this, so that I can keep my Hunting Guild at 0 out of 3. You don't want to let that build up if at all possible. So keep that in the back of your mind. Always collect it as soon as possible. Look at the next mission that you have on there and plan how you're going to get that done as soon as possible. Island Battle, last thing in here. You'll come in here and reset this once a day. You can use your preset formation, and you can rush it. This will get you to the highest stage that you have had in the previous if you've beat the entire thing. Not going to spend too much time on Island Battle, but you can just rush it and go all the way to the end for free twice a day. Reset it again, rush it again, collect your free rewards. The other thing to make sure that you do daily is certain things. We'll go and do a video on what to buy, but make sure that you're buying your daily stuff from the stores that you've decided are the best things for you to buy, especially for the nameplates in the class item chests or the mechanical gears in both the Legion and the Expedition store. You really want to make sure that you're getting those every day. I make sure I buy all of the elite nameplates, and then the class item chests, and my Odinium, and then I go back through and I buy mechanical gears, even though I'm not a mechanical master, because at some point there's a spot where you have to use 500 class items at once, and I'm probably going to just pay 20k gems to switch back and forth and keep stacking up those gears in the meantime. But that's pretty much it for daily things to do. Again, keep your resources gathering out, keep your Vit from staying maxed out, keep in mind some of those tips and tricks I gave you. Make sure that you're not missing anything big daily. Basically, if you have a chance for something per day to do it, make sure you're doing it. Don't let your radar missions die unless you want to, and it's a level 1 or 2 of the reds, and if you decided those aren't worth your vitality, that's your choice. I do them. I think it's worth, especially at level 80 when what you can use vitality on is so much limited. There was one other thing I was going to cover. Oh, Expedition Base. For your Expedition Base, something I do see a lot of people, this isn't a daily thing, this is a weekly thing, but make sure that you see when you go to collect here, it won't let me collect again so quickly, but if I click on one of these heroes that are in my march for Expedition, you'll see here there's a weekly hero. There's a target CP of this level, which is 100, and they'll tell you your current CP point. If you're at 100 CP, you get extra rewards throughout the day just from having that running. So if you don't have a lot of heroes at 5-star, for me, I can leave these 3 heroes at 5-star and I'll always be at 100 points. just because of their CP levels. If you cannot get there with your best March, then do come in here once a week and switch it on Sunday. I believe it resets. It'll tell you the weekly hero that gives bonus. So this week it's Navy. Now I know it only shows these 5 free heroes, but when it shows Navy, it's all Navy. So any Navy that you have, it'll come in here and it'll just say up, increased, and I'll tell you how many points you get for it. If you're over 100, it doesn't show you 100, but you can select your top heroes up at the top here. And if you don't have heroes that are this high, your Navy ones will be up at the top, and it'll tell you how many points that they're getting. So you want to try to get those to 100 and switch those every week if you need to make sure that you stay at 100, because over the course of the week you will get a lot of extra rewards from completing Expedition just by having that CP at 100. And definitely if you're spending gems to rush this, you want to have that CP at 100 because you're missing out on items when you do that. Let's see, anything else I missed for daily things? Of course, try to hit your world boss 5 times a day. Stay on top of your Valhallas. Make sure you keep on top of training. That's more of a sub 80 type of problem. Maybe make a video at some point to cover that. But yeah, the only other thing I can think of is for the events. Sometimes there are daily things you can do for the event. Like for right now, the Time Palace store, you can buy the first purchase a day will give you a gratitude pack. So if you're a light spender, it's worth it to buy the 99-cent one. You get a free gratitude pack. I bought it 2 days in a row and I'm at 27, and you couldn't get quite a bit more. It's about the low side of what you can get, but for $2 basically I've gotten enough to get 27 exclusive shards, almost 3 level 5 component chests, or 2 universal hero shards. So those are very good prices. There are things like that with events where it's worth doing stuff like that. Your treasure star, you can get these items for free. Cupid's arrow, you get through 3 shots a day. Make sure you're using those. Deep Sea Hunting is running right now, so you want to make sure that you're keeping these running at all times. Items like that. The events are going to change week to week. Like I said, look in Discord, look at the events, but make sure you're keeping on top of those, the free ones and the paid ones, because even with the paid ones, if you're a light spender, there are some ways to come up on those. So keep an eye out for that. Ask questions if you need to. That is pretty much what you need to do per day. Obviously, do make sure that you finish all these. I'm not going to finish them all for the purpose of the video. Do come in here and see what you have left to do, and make sure that you do them. And yeah, if you have any questions, or if you feel like you're doing anything wrong, or missing out on something daily, or not sure how to progress something, let me know. Maybe we can do a video on it. Thanks, guys.